Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host, Matt Burke. And today we're going to be having on B.A. Turner. He's talking about his awesome looking book, Vigilantes Creed. So if you guys give a warm welcome to B.A. What's up, B.A.? How you doing, bro?
Good. How you doing?
Awesome, man. Just, got back from work not too long ago. We were digging out a big hole in the dirt, trying to expose some pipe, cutting up some roots, and the roots are like this big on this tree, man. It's fucking. Then it's going under concrete. We got to get a jackhammer, take that out. So it was pretty fun though. Pretty fun. Came home and had some dinner, and yeah, man, I'm here to chop it up with you, bro. How's everything going with you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Just spent today. I had kind of a light schedule, so I got to spend a good 4 hours with the kiddo, and go for a walk and do some running around. So it's been a good day. So when you can get some extra time, because I've had quite a few days where I literally just see him for like 10 minutes and that's it, and it's brutal. So
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. I have those days too sometimes. I had to have a
yep.
little wrestling match with him and the boy and the girl. They try to tag team. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, you're not taking me down. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
That's WWE. They go pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun though. Oh, we got Corey Barton in the chat.
What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, brother? It's a very red background. Hell yeah, shit's metal as fuck. Gotta make it. Gotta make the crimson come down, man. Yeah, for sure, man. I had noticed. I actually noticed one of your books on the internet somewhere. I think like Amazon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I read a brief synopsis. Some of it escapes me, which is a good thing because we could talk about it tonight. But I just thought it looked fucking dope. It's a big swole up like gargoyle, like kind of reminded me of stuff I like from back in the day. And just like, oh man, that looks pretty cool, man. Like that'd be cool if it was a comic book or something. You know what I mean? I think people might really scratch that itch that a lot of people, are into gargoyles and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So like this is my first time meeting you. Thanks again for coming on. Also, I was wondering maybe for people that don't know you as myself, maybe you could give a little let us know talk a little about yourself, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I am a prose author. So I've written 2 novels, and then I'm
Nice.
starting to dabble into creating comics. And so I kind of strive to be a hybrid creator like Marv Wolfman, the creator of Deathstroke and Teen Titans. He also wrote some fantastic novel adaptations of characters such as Batman. So last 8 years I've been working on these 2 novels, and then about a year ago I came across Corey and Clayton's art and was like, I'm gonna get I kind of waited a long time to find the right artist, and just learning the landscape of the indie marketplace. And I realized I had to have a really unique killer looking piece of art, especially for a novel, because it's a brutal market compared to indie comics. And as soon as I got that first piece and I saw how amazing job he did bringing those characters to life, I was like, I got to get more. So he did the second cover, and then I'm like, I got to get more. I got to see more of those characters. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna kind of dip my toes in the water and do what I would call a mini comic. And first it was going to be like 5 pages, and then 8, and then now it's going to end up being like 15 pages of art. And I'm like, I'm going to introduce every major and supporting character. I want to have an art book that lays out all of the key characteristics and information about all these characters, and then also place them in some of the major scenes from the book, so that you have a more immersive reading experience. As you're reading, you have the characters right there. You can ingrain them in your mind and play the book out like a film in your mind, which is what you strive to do with the novel, right? You're trying to visualize what's going on and how they look. And if you actually have the proper characterization in your mind, it's going to be a lot smoother, and you're going to enjoy the ride a lot more. And so I'm trying to provide something a bit unique, and especially for the novel readers, but also hoping to entice the comic readers to pick up a novel again, because I can understand why they're a bit hard to to read these days, and then give them a sneak peek at what the quality of art and what the characters are like for when I do a full comic issue down the road here. So
yeah, my buddy my buddy he has a show called Dread Gaze, and he YouTube, and he put out a book called Sunsworn, and he had I don't know if you're familiar with that, but he did a prose and also a comic book later on, and it was fucking dope. I'm reading that, but it's like I'm very busy, because I'm working I have a full-time job, I homeschool, I got kids, I do my own comics too. And so I'm reading that. And I'm trying to hack away at this Solomon Kane book too. But I love Howard. He's my favorite writer. I just modded you, by the way, Corey Barton. Yeah, man. It was fun though, because you read the book, and then the rich experience that you get from the novel is totally different. It's a different form of multimedia altogether. You know what I mean? It's just I guess the word you would look for is rich. It's just a rich experience,
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to, get across to specifically the comic readers is, unfortunately for most comics, right, you might read it in an hour, right, or a day, and then you're left, craving more, but unless you're a big company, you just can't pump out, monthly issues or anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten what a great novel experience is like, because they read them, maybe 10, 20 years ago, and once they got that visual art side of things, they just stuck with comics. And I'm hoping to provide exactly what you just explained, to where the reading experience is more immersive, and they can get so much more detail and context out of the story, right? You can really give a deep backstory in all the characters. You can have really detailed fight scenes because you're not restricted by page count, right? Or cost. Because I mean, writing's not free; it's time, but you're restricted with comics. I mean, most people can't afford to do a 100 or 200 page graphic novel, right? And rightfully so. So I'm hoping this would kind of introduce them to the story, and I'm just hoping that at least the comic side, they'll kind of just give it a chance, and who knows, they may be like, I also kind of want to be a unique creator to where people will remember my name in the sense of, oh, that's the novel guy, right, in CG or in indie comics, like Red Gaze, and have a go-to comic source, because there really aren't many at all in our space. It's just me and him and G-Doc Swift, I believe. So that's, I'd like to kind of provide that extra kind of outlet of content that can give you days, if not weeks of entertainment, So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And sometimes you again, you're going to want it. I read the comic, I want a little more, I read Sunsworn, and then I really got into that fucking world, dude. You know what I mean? I still got to go back to it. And it came with the bookmark. It's a thick puppy, and I have all these images populating in my head because I don't know. That's just me, right? So I'm imagining all this, and his writing is really good. And you're there. And a lot of people just don't understand that, reading a novel, reading a comic, playing a video game, I could keep naming, they're all forms of different multimedia, VR, you're going to get different experiences out of all those things, and they're all equally as good. They're all different, So I think, and a lot of people, dude, they haven't, like you said, they haven't read, or they haven't read in a long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think now, and once you start getting into it, I think if you haven't read in a while, you got to get in there and read a couple, a few pages. It takes a while to get back into it. Once you get back into it, then you're in for a wild ride, and you're into something different. Your mind's going off, and it's like, you don't even want to watch TV or anything like that. So, but I got a question for you, man. You got a favorite metal band?
Yes. Would you say, heavy metal or new metal?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, for me, I'm kind of a metal stan, so I like all forms of metal for different reasons at different times in my life. and I'm pretty, you know, I got my favorites, but you know,
I'm probably gonna say Seven Dust, and
Seven Dust.
then I would put close to them Five Finger Death Punch,
I still got to check
Epica.
them out. Epica, I've heard of them. A Five
Yep.
Finger Death Punch, I've heard a couple songs. I thought they were pretty dope. Like back in the day,
Yep.
my brother-in-law used to play them in his car. I'm like, yeah, these guys are pretty dope, you know.
And then Taproot.
Taproot, I
Huge
remember
Taproot fan. Yeah,
that's dope.
yeah.
Yeah. My buddy Fan, he got me on this band. They're called Mercenary. They're from Sweden, and
Nice.
they got a bunch of albums. I'm like, damn, these guys are fucking dope. So I'm like, I'm washing dishes at home, like fucking trying to get all this shit done, you know. And yeah, just going through the whole catalog, listening to all their shit on YouTube, and I was like, damn, these fools are solid. I love checking out new bands too. I always have people on asking people and stuff. But yeah, man. But like when I saw that image, even like of the comic or of the book that you had on back, like probably like a year ago or something like that. It's just dope. Reminds me of Gargoyles. I don't know. Were you a fan of the cartoon Gargoyles by any chance, or?
Yeah, I liked it as a kid, but
Yeah,
I hadn't rewatched it until last year because I mean, growing up, I didn't have cable or anything, and I didn't have it was never on a streaming service until Disney Plus came out. So there was really no way to watch it unless you bought the series. So,
right.
But I've always just been enamored by the lore of the gargoyle, especially from a religious, perspective. And, that plus remembering the gargoyles show is just like, man, this character has been so underutilized. There haven't been any films outside of I, Frankenstein that even touch them really.
Right. No one touches them, dude. Like it's pretty green, as I should say. And it's like, ooh, someone's doing it, you know?
Yep.
I thought that was dope.
Yep.
And I was glad that you jumped on it. And I know your take's gonna be vastly different than that. Which is dope. I heard, I talked to you about a month ago or something, but I heard Kenneth Branagh is gonna be directing the movie. They're making, allegedly. It sounds pretty dope.
It sounds like that was actually just a rumor.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. That sucks.
It's Disney owned, so even if they made it, I wouldn't have much faith. But 10 years ago, with the right director,
oh yeah,
oof, that could have been amazing. I mean, yeah. Again, they haven't taken advantage of that creature at all.
Oh no, man. I just modded you, Sugar. Yeah, I thought he would have been pretty cool. Like, I like what he did with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and then the whole, like, with Goliath, the Goliath Chronicles, how he did the Shakespearean side to. I mean, he did a lot of Shakespeare movies, you know. So I thought he would have been good, and maybe even cast David Keith, I always forget his name, in there, or at least do the voice. Maybe do it animatronic like Ninja Turtles, but kind of dark, And for me, that was like Disney's only property, and from my understanding, it was created or written. The writer was a comic book writer at the time. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, Greg Weisman. Yep.
Yeah, and to only that was like their response to Batman the Animated Series, which I love that as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a Gargoyles. Yeah, Dynamite picked it up.
Yep.
Yeah, they have a new one. I haven't picked them up yet, but I wanted to. They have a pretty badass Goliath toy out there right now too. But
yeah, the NECA ones. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, shoot, man. I actually have up your campaign right now. I was wondering if you'd like me to share it, dude.
Sure, yeah.
I got it up. I got one right here on let's see here, Indiegogo, and I got FundmyComic. So I'll show you the. Guess we could go ahead and check a look at the Indiegogo one first, if you like.
Sounds good.
All right. 1 second. But yeah, Sugar Chris, I did mod you, man. So if you want to drop some links, go for it, brother. I need to start modding more people in here. Tonight's the first night I started doing it, so this is like my 37th show. All right, here we go.
Nice.
All right, you got a trailer right here too, huh?
Yep.
Cool. It's cool if we play it.
Yeah. I think you'll like the music in it.
Nice. Here we go. Yeah, it's fucking badass, man.
Thank you. Yeah,
Metal.
love that
Metal.
song.
Yeah. Well, do you think you might? Would you be down to go over the maybe the little synopsis on the story? Maybe you could talk a little bit about Vigilantes Creed. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's about a man named Slade Allen who becomes metaphysically bound to an angelic grimoire. And this happened because he had sacrificed his life for another, and that grimoire had sensed that a man was being unjustly taken before his time. So it guided its keeper, which was an elderly priest, to the scene of the crime, where he performed an ancient ritual that saved his life. However, in turn, it turns him into a gargoyle every night at the stroke of midnight.
Nice.
And initially, he's fueled solely by vengeance to find out who attacked them and why. But as he starts to hunt down criminals to beat information out of them, he finds out that it seems that the police commissioner of the city of Detroit is the one pulling the strings of corruption. As time goes on, he teams up with a few other gentlemen that have been affected by said corruption, and they end up finding out that the puppet master is the antagonist there named Incubus, who has unearthed the Nazi era mind control serum that allows him to enter the subconscious of his subjects and torment them, convince them that he's their god, their savior, and ultimately create the perfect super soldier, one that is convinced they cannot feel any pain, any fear. They must fulfill his wishes regardless of the command. And so it sets up this massive war on the streets of Detroit between the vigilantes and Incubus and his army of super soldiers. And yeah, it's a story about true heroism, against pure evil. It's a villain that you're gonna love to hate. You're gonna absolutely despise them. They are not redeemable, and it's a hero that is meant to be so fearful that he can instill fear in even the most evil of villains, similar to kind of like Hellboy. So it's
Nice.
if you're a fan of urban fantasy, Lovecraft, you're going to get a really good mixture of those two plus science fiction because there's a lot of neuroscience that ties into it, and it's filled with biblical lore. The gargoyle is tied to this grimoire, which was created by an archangel,
Ooh, nice.
and because of that, he has this ability to sense whether or not a human has a soul and if he has a sense of humanity. If a human does have a soul, he's unable to kill them. However, once they've undergone enough of those serum treatments, they lose their humanity, they become soulless, and all bets are off to where the gargoyle can let loose a bit if you must.
That's
So,
awesome, man. That sounds like a fucking dope ass story.
thank you.
You got a little bit of some let's say some what's the word, eldritch undertones on here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Love that too.
Oh yeah. Corey, just his coloring, that's part of what really drew me to reaching out to him, because on Kozar, just he really just hit that dark fantasy, that like
Oh yeah.
really dark tone. Like for me, you know, some people he's not their cup of tea, but like Zack Snyder films, I absolutely love the color tones, like in 300, the
Oh yeah.
intensity of the
Dope
color,
as fuck. Yeah.
and that's what Corey can pull off, and yeah, it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah. And he's got that, like, I don't know, man. He's one of my favorites.
Hmm.
He could pull off like some, like one of my favorite artists is Bernie Wrightson, and I'd
Hmm.
seen some of his Kozar pieces that he did back in the day. And I was like, damn, that shit looks like a Bernie piece, but
Hmm.
with his own style put in there too. He's definitely got his own style. Him and his brother both
Yep.
both both got their own style, but both really good.
Hmm.
But yeah, I love Corey's work, man. And his
Oh
color
yeah.
palette's fucking sick. I have Kozar too. I haven't read it yet.
Oh,
I
it's
plan on reading
fantastic.
it and doing a review. And we got
Yeah.
all the homies on here. You got Corey Barton, you got Joe Ball, you got
Hmm.
Skunk Artworks on here. He did a piece too.
Yep. Yeah, he did the
Sorry,
painted wraparound cover for the mini comic right there.
love it, man. I love his
Yeah.
art, man. He's a great guy
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Um,
And there's the original arts on the campaign too for anyone that likes to collect art, specifically paintings, and it's big. So,
and then Joe did he did like a special like double cover kind or two-sided cover, right?
Yeah, I can go both directions, and that's the cover of the black and white art book. And I have an option for a 2-in-1 duology book that has both novels in one thick boy, and it'll have this cover in one direction on the one side and then in the opposite direction on the other side.
So what's the black and white art book like exactly?
So it's every piece of art from the project, the mini comic, the books, everything. Just the inks and the line art, just virgin, no lettering. So just for the folks that just love some great black and white art, because Corey's, as you can see from that one near the top, his black and white art is freaking fantastic as well. So
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
I always pick up a black and white version when it's available on campaigns. So
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
have that
dude. Like some
there.
people really love, like my homie Brian. He loves black and white. Like for me, again, I'm not on Corey's level, but I'm still a greenhorn. And for me, I'm only doing black and white now going forward for my stuff.
Nice.
And there's a market for it out there, dude. Some people, like I said, like a lot of people like it. I like it now too. Like, I mean, in manga, I mean, people, love it. They're buying it up over there. There's no problem selling that. I know it's not American comics, but it's similar,
Yep, exactly.
Maybe we can go over some of the tiers if you like.
Yeah.
For sure. Got the first one here. Let's get physical.
Yeah, so that would be the most bang for your buck there. You get both novels, you get both variants of the mini comic, and then the black and white art book, as well as 3 free laminated art prints and 2 free oversized and laminated bookmarks for just $50.
Sweet. That's a
So
good deal.
basically $10 per physical item, which is really cheap for 240 plus page novels. So.
Definitely.
And then basically, the perks can be a little bit overwhelming on here, but when you have 5 physical different items,
Yeah, it's kind of.
I wanted to offer them up individually, but then also provide bundle packages. And the bundle packages offer a steep discount. You get more out of the shipping, and I give the free art prints and bookmarks in all of the bundle packages. And there's also digital options as well if you want to save some money, especially on shipping. That's there. So, if you're someone that wants to collect art, but want to give, the story a chance, and you're a little bit slim on budget, you can always pick up the mini comic, which is only like $12, and then get the digital books, just to, give them a shot. So
Oh yeah,
any
definitely.
combination is available. And then there's the original artwork from Joe and Skunk. There's the one sketch card left from Joe, and then some real big bundle packages that have retro custom lunch boxes, puzzles.
Nice.
There's poster add-ons, aluminum sign add-ons. There's anything I would want to have on my wall, the type of stuff I loved. I wanted to make sure it's available in here as well. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Looks like you got it all covered right here. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
one Joe Ball. You got one Joe Ball sketch card. That's badass.
Yeah.
He does some badass sketch cards.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Let's see here. A complete total. I did one for his him and Shane's new book, or I did 3, a little set. They have a book called
nice.
Swarm out right now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be coming
pick
on.
that up.
So, yeah, I want to get it.
Yeah. No,
Awesome.
they're awesome dudes.
The painting from Skunk. Joe Ball's art right there. Man, just selling those cards.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys got to come check this out. You're 59% the way there. You got another 26 days. Come in here and get some. Come in here and get some of the stuff. Get some of the art. It's gonna sell. You want to get in on the floor now before it's too late. Skunk's coming up. He's a hot new talent around the scene right now, and you want to get Joe's pieces. Joe's just getting more and more prolific every year.
Yeah, he went crazy on that piece. It was, for all the other artwork, I really, put a lot of effort into kind of designing the layouts, the panels, everything. But for Joe's, I'm like, here's examples of the characters, just do your thing and go nuts. Because, he can just find ways to put details in a character and a piece of art that you can't even imagine
Oh yeah.
until he does it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he fit every major character on there. He had it going in every direction. And I'm just like every time he sent me an update, like I just stare at it for 5 minutes because there's so much going on.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, man, I'm getting so much out of one page. It's just crazy.
He's one of those. He's like, we have a few visionaries in Comicsgate and
Yep.
Iron Age, whatever you want to call it. Same
Mhm.
thing. Indie comics, whatever sounds
Mhm.
sexy to you. But yeah, Joe's one of them. I believe Joe's one of them, dude. He's fucking coming out with some sick, inspiring shit now all the time.
Yep.
Yep, they do.
Yeah. And that's, I'm glad Corey mentioned that. I'm already done with the books.
Ooh, damn, you got him right
I
there. Look
already
at that.
already
Everyone
have
watching.
proofs.
Look at that shit.
And the mini comic is going to be done before the campaign is over. So before the 60 days. So
Sick.
I'll be fulfilling in October is my goal. So unless things get nuts and I get some of the stretch goals, but as it's looking now, as soon as the funds transfer, I'll be shipping because I already have the books in stock.
Oh hell
I
yeah.
already got samples, went through a couple runs with the printer, and so I'm ready to get it in people's hands, so people won't be waiting long. So
That's crazy too. You said in the story it's in Detroit, right?
yep.
That's where my grandpa, he was a Detroit cop. That's where
Oh, nice.
my dad's from there. They're from Dearborn. I mean,
Yep.
originally, then they moved to Detroit. So
Yep.
that's where my family's from.
Nice.
It's crazy. So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Michigan. I spent a lot of time in Detroit, and I also like to put some good healthy realism in the book, and
Hell yeah.
corruption
Oh,
in
for sure,
Detroit
dude.
is on par. So
Oh yeah, I know a little bit something about that.
yep.
RoboCop's one of my favorite movies. Old
Oh
Detroit.
yeah.
I just watched it 2 nights ago. I got a pretty big TV. I'm like, damn, I gotta fucking watch RoboCop on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, I love it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, that's cool. And like The Crow, I'm a big fan of
Mhm.
like that movie and the book as well.
Yep.
Just something about Detroit, man. Even though I've never been there, it's kind of got a character, a soul to itself. The city itself does, So
And the architecture, as messed up as the city is, unfortunately, the architecture is beautiful. There's so much Gothic architecture there. The churches are amazing, like the
yeah,
cathedral, where a lot of my book takes place. The Michigan Central Station, which is that big building on the cover, just amazing buildings. It's just, it's a shame what's
it's
happened
kind of
to the city with
Gotham-esque in a
auto.
way, right? I mean, it's always kind of been.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking?
that,
Like,
that that's literally like if you were to pick a city to represent Gotham, it's that, which I think that's why they used Detroit for Batman versus Superman because it
yeah,
literally was like it hit the aesthetic. So
that's the
yeah.
best. That's my favorite. Like Batman was in that movie.
Oh, dude,
But
yeah, me
they
too.
he never got there again after that. I mean,
Mhm.
he's my favorite. But yeah, they just everything after that, including him, it hasn't been the same. They just
Yeah.
like but they pretty much nailed it on that one. I thought.
Yeah, he was just his Bruce Wayne was just really suave, like his smirk, everything was just on par with the comics, and his Batman was just like Frank Miller's. It was just gritty,
Brought to
you
life, huh?
know. Oh yeah,
A little bit of the
awesome.
animated series too thrown in, little Bruce Tim for like the
Hmm.
man. He just nailed it, man. And Jeremy Irons.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
that
man,
was yeah.
it's unfortunate that I was talking to I was talking to my buddy, and I was just like, man, why do they got to fucking reboot everything? It's like I don't want to have to wait another 20 years, for
Yeah,
them to fucking like we're fine, just make some more. Like it's there, like you know what I mean. Make 6 movies with Affleck and make them dope, or
I
something,
could go on for days about that. Yeah, it's just politics within these companies, and
Yeah,
they just they had too much of a chokehold over Snyder. They wouldn't
Yeah.
just let him do his thing, him and Nolan, because Nolan was involved. And
Yeah.
it's just like you had two of the best directors and creative minds on the project, and you cut 40 minutes out of the most important movie in DC history or modern day history. And
Well, you didn't get to
then
see
you're,
Clark Kent. You didn't do Kent. He couldn't
I
Kent it.
know,
He wouldn't let him Kent. Like, you can't
yeah,
let that motherfucker Kent. Like, come
like
on. Let him
he like
investigate.
I know, like Snyder wanted to do a Man of Steel 2
Yeah.
before Batman vs Superman, and the studio's just like, no, we got to catch up to Marvel. We got to throw everyone together, and it's got to make $1 billion. And it barely
He would have
missed.
done Dark Knight Returns. He would have fucking made Dark Knight Returns. I mean, he made
Oh yeah,
300.
hmm
He made Watchmen, and he said in an
perfect.
interview when he was promoting Watchmen or 300, one of the two. I remember. I think I have it on the DVD. What movie would you like to do? He's like, oh, I'd like to make the Dark Knight Returns. Like, he said that. I'd like to make Dark Knight Returns. And he's
Yep.
probably like, fuck. They're probably like, we want Batman, dude. Like, we need Batman. Like, there's not enough Batman because he's fucking Atlas for DC. So you're gonna have to fuck that fool into the movie real quick. Oh, all right. I guess I'll do what I can. I'll get all the Dark Knight stuff in there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
the studios, they just made so many mistakes. And I mean, Affleck already had the Batman movie written.
yeah.
He
I've
was
been
going to
hearing good shit
direct
about it
it.
too. Like, I already knew a lot
Yeah,
about it, but now I'm hearing more and more and more.
yeah.
I'm like,
He was going
dog.
to
Like, what
face
did
off
you do?
against Deathstroke.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like
if you
Arkham
want,
Asylum, like,
oh, dude, you want a villain like that's going to steal the show, and it's Deathstroke. He's never
yeah.
been on the big screen, and you're just like, no. Like
I
that
heard
movie would have made $1 billion,
I heard
hands
that
down.
they were gonna make it really personal too. Like, he killed one of them. I got to go back and check it out. But either Deathstroke killed a Robin or
hmm
Batman killed Deathstroke's kid. Because Deathstroke's the dad. He has all these
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
So I was like, either way, I was like, that's fucking dope. It's a fucking movie. You got to kind of do
hmm
stuff in movies. They're big, and you gotta they only come out so many times in your life, right? So like,
Yep.
that's cool. And then that gives them that the angst, kind of like with Nicholson and Keaton and killed his parents.
hmm
Um, but there was that, and then they were both part of the League of Assassins, which I thought was dope. I'm like,
hmm
yeah, I'm cool with that. That's
hmm
dope. I'm not gonna hate on it. I mean, even though they're not really in the comic, but sounds dope. Like that's
Well, it's
cool.
crazy because they just I think it's Jay Olivia who did some of this screenwriting and it was involved in all those projects. He recently told everyone after they released this bad Flash movie that it was going to be the yellow Flash or reverse Flash behind everything. Like he
Makes
was the
sense.
one that was causing all these things to happen in Batman versus Superman. He was the one that was
I would have
obviously
got
gonna.
Matthew McConaughey. I thought he would have been good.
hmm
Like, you know what? It's all
Yep.
me. I'm doing
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Like all evil. Like, he's got all these fucking like evil roles he's played.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
he kind of looks like him a little, like kind of has that look to him. Arkham City was pretty dope though, dude. That the Arkham
hmm
City game, like that
Oh
was.
yeah.
I mean, the Arkham Asylum was next level, and then that was just like took it even more, like through the roof. And then
hmm
I'm still playing Night. I don't know. I had to break away because it comes down to video gaming or making comics, and I only got
Yep.
those few hours, so it's going to go to comics. I got a
Yep.
question for you though, man. What's your favorite movie?
Hmm. It's probably gonna be Batman versus Superman.
That's
Honestly,
dope. Yeah,
absolutely
that
love it.
movie is pretty dope.
I get so much shit for it, but I don't care.
Fuck
It's
it, dude. I
just
mean, you got to be
I love it.
yourself, bro. You got to
hmm
own your shit, and if people, they got to respect that sometimes. My
Yep.
homie, that's his. I got a bunch of buddies. They're like, that's their favorite movie too. For me, the only things that I don't like about it is, I don't like. I mean, I understand Jesse Eisenberg is Lex,
hmm
and I know that he could be his son and whatnot, and I respect that he wanted to do something different. And then the
hmm
OG Lex kind of looked like that a little bit, but I wanted like Bryan Cranston or Billy Zane, like
hmm
stoic fucking no, like you know what I'm talking, like.
hmm
So there was that, and Doomsday. I didn't like the design of Doomsday. He looked like a Peter
Well,
Jackson.
yeah, and that's the bummer of it. Like, I really wish we could have again seen the universe that Snyder intended because I'll bet you he would not have rushed Batman and Superman together so quick, and he probably would
Oh,
not have. rush Doomsday. I mean, the studio literally was like, you've got to put all these characters in one film, and it's like
retrofit it, like make it work. MacGyver this
yeah,
motherfucker, basically.
and you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is, he may not have designed Doomsday either,
Yeah.
because David Ayer did Suicide Squad,
Yeah. I
and
like that one too.
he's starting to come out and be really honest about the fact that the studio, what they released was nothing like he made. They
Yeah. The
literally,
haircut.
yep. And he said, he's like, the Enchantress, um, and the villains looked completely different. He's like, even the Joker was different.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
the villain you saw was not how I designed it. So
Right.
for all we know, that's the thing. They people put everything on the director. They assume that the director is the writer and the director is in charge of everything, and it's like it doesn't work like that at
No,
all.
not anymore. It's a big toy
So
machine and media. You know what I mean?
and
And
there's people that don't know comics with their
right.
hands in there. There are people that you know have a completely different vision than the people writing it, and you're hearing a lot more stories of writers just being like, "Hey, I was told I had to add this in or I had to do it
Yeah.
this way. Like it's my job. Like I can't say no, right? Unless they're a real prolific writer, unless they're like a Christopher Nolan where they're like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just I'll do my own thing and
Or Mark Millar or something like that
right.
for the most part. And
Mm-hmm.
in that movie too, like for me, like I get shit too, but I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna
Yep,
like what
yep,
I like, you know.
yeah,
I like Death of Superman. That's my favorite
yeah,
Superman story. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Doomsday. He's my favorite Superman villain. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm a '90s kid. I was born in '83, so the
Mm-hmm.
Death of Superman, that was the best story. I was sucked into that.
Oh,
It's the #1 selling comic book of all time. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Um, the rise of the four Superman. I love that fucking mullet Superman coming back. I love that. I love the
Yep.
Doomsday. I love the art. I think it was Dan Jurgens that drew it. The fight scene they had, you know, and I love the cartoons they've done, like 3 different animated movies. You know, you can get
Mm-hmm.
on Max or whatever the fuck. Oh, I love those. And just Doomsday, he was just a big influence on me, even for like my character and how he comes in and he's wearing the green suit and the red
Mm-hmm.
goggles and he just slowly just beating him. So in the movie, I was kind of let down, but I was cool with them bringing it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Bane, the whole Nightfall story, Bane, I love Bane and him breaking the bat, you know, and that was all from Image. Image started all that shit. So that was DC's counterattack was Death of Superman and
Mm-hmm.
Nightfall. That's how they came
Yep.
back hard, you know. And
Yep.
I wasn't complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Those movies are dope, and you know, I really like Man of Steel too. I like Batman Begins a lot too. Batman
Me
Begins,
too.
like I could watch both those fucking movies. I don't know what it is, man. And I still feel that like the fight scenes in Man of Steel, they're up there, bro. Like they're
Oh,
still like
dude, I don't think anyone can do. I don't think really anyone can match Snyder's fight scenes. I mean,
yeah,
Watchmen were
oh
just
yeah,
phenomenal. I mean,
yeah,
300. I mean, come
300.
on.
I love that
Just
movie.
I like that he doesn't unnecessarily speed them up. Like
Yeah,
they feel organic, they feel powerful.
yeah,
Where like a lot of the Marvel stuff, they're really speeding it up to where you're just like it doesn't feel like it has an impact.
yeah.
Like
And people
that where
complain about the slow motion sometimes. I'm like, fuck that. I like that shit
yeah,
sometimes. I like it when they speed it up
that
and slow it down. You know?
warehouse scene in
Oh,
Batman vs Superman was
yeah,
so
the pinnacle.
brutal and just
Pinnacle
raw.
Batman. Like you can't,
Yeah,
like that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like once you go there, it's gonna be hard to go back. And
yeah.
and he built his Batman was pure suspense. You
Hmm.
barely see him. He slowly unravels. Like he's just like barely just shows you a little bit of him in the movie. Like he's just like a
Hmm.
gargoyle, like in that trafficker like house, you know,
Oh yeah,
you know, you get that. Then you slowly get Frank Miller's armored Batman, and at the end, like,
yeah,
all right, dog, you ready? You want the full force? Then he gives you the warehouse, you know.
yeah,
And I was just like, wow, it's a slow build for that Batman.
yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't believe what we got at the end of there. I'm still can't believe it. And we still haven't gotten it yet.
Hmm.
From what I've seen, like after that, the closest thing we got, I hate to say it, was some of the fight scenes in The Batman. Okay.
Right.
But what I'm seeing online, what Keaton's been doing for The Flash, I haven't seen The Flash yet, but it looks like Keaton's getting down. So
Mhm.
I want to watch it, you know. he took out the fucking giant from Smallville, Man of Steel. Remember the giant? I don't know. Did you see the Flash? Did you see the movie? Oh, okay. So
No, I after they announced that they were cutting ties with Snyder, and after what they did to him with his daughter's death, I was like, I won't watch another one of their movies. So
you're just like,
I guess I'm boycotting them, But yeah, I'm actually more so just looking forward to Rebel Moon and anything that Nolan puts out, and Guy Ritchie. Those are kind of my go-tos now, because there's not much with Marvel now to look forward to. And
no, I'm actually. Oh, now I just got another idea. I was going to talk. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk to you about, but I just go. I go with where it goes. I'm looking forward to the new Hellboy movie, The Crooked Man. That movie sounds fucking dope, dude. And Hellboy, Christopher Golden and Mike Mignola, they do a lot of adaptations or just novels, prose of Mignola's work. One of them was The Bones of Giants. I own that one, and it's just a novel, right?
Nice.
I read that. Dope, man. Thor gets fucking Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Hellboy gets, he gets stuck in the right hand of doom, and the whole book takes place in Norway. It's a hard recommend. You gotta check it out. And the whole book, he just has the hammer stuck in his hand. He won't let it go. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it is a really good book. But it's not. That's
cool.
It's not a comic,
Right.
So, and they're writing together. They're writing the movie script. So. It's going to be the most Hellboy-ish Hellboy. I know they're kind of getting closer and closer. I really like that first one a lot, the most. I like the second one, and I like the reboot for different reasons. But the new one sounds cool. They got a no-name actor, and I think the movie's just finished principal photography or filming. I did like how Affleck's Batman would fight. It was like the Arkham games. Although the new Batman movie was cool, has cool fights too. Yeah, the Batman movie had some cool fight scenes in it. You didn't see that one yet, right? Because you're like, fuck those fools.
Yep.
But they had gangs. So you have like the Joker gang, like the mime gang in the beginning. In the beginning, like this dude comes at him with the little machete and he breaks his arm in like 3 spots, like in the commercial. And
nice.
Boom, pounds him in there, I was like, all right, that's dope. And then he hits up he fights the Penguin gang, right? And they're at the Iceberg Lounge. I'm like, all right. He like shoots a dude fucking with his guns, like a cowboy, like I like that, and throws a bat at a fool's face and like dings him, and he breaks his nose, and you see him later, it's a cop, he's like, yeah, I broke his nose like 2 nights ago. I think I broke his nose. Nice. I'm like, oh, cool consistency. And it had internal monologue too, which I liked. It was very Frank Miller. And then at the end you get the Joker gang. But the movie, bro, was 3 hours long. So you only get the first fucking like 2 gang fights in the first 30 minutes of the movie, and then you get the last fight at the end. I'm like, dog, like it's just too much. It's too long of a movie. They could have shaved an hour out of it. And oh, dude, like there's like some tweaks here and there, a couple lines here and there that didn't need to be there. It was just kind of pandering and little token here and there. And just like, but other than that, no, I like the movie. That internal monologue. He was a detective. He was on screen as Batman most of the time. There's and he's very, very low tech. More. Right. Very, very low tech, like the it's like Batman Year One in a lot of ways,
Right.
So,
yeah, Reeves is a good director, so I do like him. So
yeah, I liked his 8 movies. I thought they were cool, and Cloverfield was cool when it came out,
Yep.
But yeah, man, let's talk some more Vigilantes Creed. I got the FundmyComic link up right now. You guys got to check this one out too.
Cool.
Almost said Assassin's Creed. All right, here we go. FundmyComic. Is this the same trailer right here, or is this different?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So everything's the same on here except for, with FundmyComic, they don't have like add-ons. So you'll see like the posters and signs as option or perks.
And you're at 612 right now, more than halfway funded. So there's a lot of cats like me. Like if I'm going to back now and I have the option, I'm going to FundmyComic. I want you to get that more percentage of the money, and I want to support you more than Indiegogo. Just being,
it's just a better company too. Or, you know what I mean? Like they're not shadow banning people. I mean, knock on wood, I'm good so far, but yeah, I'm with you there.
Yep. And Luke Stone, he's a great guy. He's a dude just like us, making comics, and it's pretty easy to get a hold of. Got all the same rewards right here. Good,
Yep.
good pricing too, man. Some
Mhm.
people can't afford the shipping, so
Mhm.
they can check it out right here on digital.
True. Yep.
People live in like Australia and whatnot. I never did that on my own campaigns back in the day, but now I'm like, damn,
Mhm.
maybe I should have done that.
Yep.
Love that cover, man. Love that
Oh.
cover, bro. It's just like full like gothic 90s fucking action. Like so many different ideas pop in my head and like things from the past, when I see that. I love it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
I still haven't seen Snyder's fucking zombie movie.
It's good. I mean, if you like Dawn of the Dead, you'll like
Love
it.
Dawn of the Dead.
So, yeah, it's continuation. So, yep. And Army of Thieves, which is a spin-off from that, he wrote that, and that's really, really good too. It's more of a like a safe cracker movie, about some thieves. It's really, really cool.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
technically you should watch that one first,
I'll
even
have to
though it
check
came
those
out
out.
second. Yeah.
I'm gonna check those out. I like Sucker Punch a lot too. I've seen that in the movie
Oh,
theater. Dude, there
that
was a
movie
time
hits.
like he was like the only one making dope ass movies at one point, like some of the best
Yep.
movies, dude. Like he really
Yeah,
was.
and with a low budget. I mean, the dude, I think he did 300 with like 80 million, and
Yeah,
then
like
Sucker Punch had like 60 million, and I think Sucker Punch was too early for its time. It gets way too much shit, but
all of his movies, a lot of his movies are. You know what I mean?
like for
People talk shit, dude, but give it another
yeah,
30 years and they're gonna be like, oh wow, like he's
yeah,
a fucking meme now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They talk
I
shit
mean,
about him in movies now, like he's in me, like he
hmm
and yeah, like they're oh, is that like a Zack Snyder thing? And dude, like in I don't know if it was a TV show or a movie or some shit where they brought his name up.
hmm
Um,
I mean, his CGI has always been like way ahead of everybody else. He is always has the best CGI. And the thing is, like people that are fans of manga or anime
yeah,
should watch Sucker Punch.
right.
Just the aesthetic and some of the scenes in that is just, you know, it's awesome. And he knows how to do, you know, a strong woman character right.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
for sure, man.
he's the one director that can do that properly. So,
I just remember
yeah.
like he was coming out with all these fucking like bangers, and then he came out with
Yep.
Guardians of Gahul. I was like,
Yep.
man. And then I was like, oh, I'll check it out. Like that's cool. He's doing something different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes
Yep.
people gonna do that, and I respected him more for it.
hmm
I like this right here where you stop in the car. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great part of the book.
He looks like a fun character to draw. Let's see here.
Yeah. That's both Corey and Joe said and Skunk said they had a blast drawing him. And Elliot Rodriguez he did one of the art prints as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And
Elliot's a
he
fucking.
loved it.
He's a badass too. I love his
hmm
work. Just solid like comic book like line work. Oh,
Yep.
I like this piece right here, man.
Yeah.
He's getting that. Woo! I love
Yep.
the act. I'm like I'm a horror fiend, so I love
Yep.
the gore and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
It's just fun. I love this too right here, man. It's got a very I hate to say it, dude, but it's got like a dark Lovecraftian feel to it. The cover,
Exactly.
like
Yep.
it's got that dark asylum feel in the background, like looming, and yeah, love the feeling. Imagine getting hit by one of those fucking stone forearms, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He can turn any part of his body to stone at will, so he can use that for offense or defense. So pretty much, if you just broaden your imagination a bit, you could think of a lot of ways that can come in handy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just that stone pattern on someone's face, like just breaking it,
Yeah.
you would just see it all like all the indentations on the cheek.
Oh yeah.
You could do the knuckles, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And you have these other characters right here that look pretty badass too.
Yeah.
I think one of them is like well, I don't want to spoil too much, but you said something like one of them's like a vigilante or a cop, right? One of them, the dude with
So
the cross.
the top two are the other two vigilantes. So
Okay.
the one on the left, he's a cop, so a good cop who is kind of the mole for the
Okay.
team, right? He's finding out what's going on at the precinct and trying to fight from within and also at night fighting on the streets. And then the guy on the right is the Siberian scientist who he's Russian, so they do mandatory military service. So he's got arms training, combat training, and then he's working to try to find a counter serum to stop the mind control effect that Incubus has on the city.
And Incubus is the one with the kind of like the squid beard, sort of the tentacle beard.
Yep.
That's a dope character design, man.
And then the guy in the bottom left is another neuroscientist, but he's been captured by Incubus and is basically trapped in order to protect his family. So
I like how you spelled it Incubus because he's like a squid, probably squirts ink out of his tentacles face.
You get it. Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, the 2-in-1 duology. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Incubus was a pretty dope band back in the day. Dude,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone liked that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Slade Allen. I like that.
Yep.
You're here, folks. Come on over to FundmyComic. Pick this up. And how many pages are the two mini comics you said?
So the mini comics, as of right now, will be between 15 and 17 pages, and then the novels will be, they're both, I believe, over 240 pages. So
that's 2 comics, dude. That's straight up 2 comics, for the most part, dude. I mean, they're mini comics, but comics are about almost that length now. They're usually about 18 pages now, and then they add ads to them, 18 to 20.
Yep.
That's dope. Father Ephraim.
Yep.
Or Ephraim, depending on how you say it. Commissioner Ream. Yeah, I'm digging this, man.
Oh, thank you.
Offering a lot on this. I like the lunchbox. It's cool.
Oh yeah. Love the retro lunchboxes.
Got the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. People just got to come and check this out.
Yep.
You got a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah. I need to do some more videos and eventually start live streaming. But when you're doing streams with other folks and interviews and stuff, there's just when you're on the campaign trail, there's not much time to do much else. But once, excuse my dog's burp, that was funny.
It's all good.
Once I go in demand, I'll plan on doing a lot more YouTube stuff. So.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
OJ Dalla, OG
what's
right
up,
there.
Yeah.
He can get any part of his body rock hard. Ladies.
That's right.
I thought Slade was like a typical tough bad guy name. That does sound pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people overthink, like, Slade Wilson's pretty dope, dude. Deathstroke, like, he's one of. There's a lot of DC characters that get like overlooked, I mean, he's for me, he's like, I got him and Swamp Thing and the Demon. I like those cats. Lobo is my favorite and then Batman. I mean, obviously, everyone loves Batman. Everyone loves Batman, but then it's Lobo and then Swamp Thing and Deathstroke. Those are my favorites.
Yep, same here. Plus Dr. Fate for me. I always loved Dr. Fate.
What did you think about Black Adam?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see it, huh?
I didn't see it. I that one I would consider watching only because
Snyder adjacent.
Yeah, and I think The Rock wanted it to be in the Snyder universe.
Yeah, so
and I think it was always planned to be part of it. So, and they burned The Rock hard on that as well. So, and I do think Pierce Brosnan was a great choice for Dr. Fate.
Dude. That movie was fucking dope, dude. In the beginning was fucking metal, bro. Like, I really liked it. I was like, damn. I think I went and seen it in the theaters too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was way better than I like the first Shazam movie too. I like the second one was kind of weak. I don't know.
I didn't watch the second one, but the first one was fun.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't like that they ended it with the family just suddenly all gets powers and they fight
I didn't
together.
Like that either.
I'm just focus on Shazam,
Me too. I agree.
Such a good character.
And in canon, they do that. Like, the family does get the powers in canon, but I still I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I was just like, let's just
too
focus on him.
easy.
Yeah, and it's just I don't want to see a group of Shazam. Let's just focus on the kid growing up. His journey, and maybe maybe one of them might get it at the end of like the third movie or something, but not everybody like, here you go, hop on a big pizza of Shazam. Like, nah.
Yeah.
But this, and then they had some cool scenes, like that board scene where those demons came in with Mark Strong. He always plays a good villain. But Black Adam was something different, dude. It was something a little fresh. It took place like in like this Middle Eastern, like Kazakhstan or whatever the fuck. And it was all right, and the action was dope. And the fight, it was pretty metal. Like they had a big demon at the end that you've had to fight, and I liked it. A lot of people hated on it. But
it's got to be way better than Flash and Blue Beetle. So the standards now are, yikes.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Flash. I have a couple buddies though that saw it and they enjoyed it. Which is like, what the fuck? Because like around these parts, most people are like, fuck that movie, don't go watch it. And I don't like Ezra Miller. He's a piece of shit. But he could probably act a little bit in the type of movies. I mean, I wouldn't cast him as the Flash regardless on anything. Like to me, he doesn't look like the Flash,
right?
Or act like him. I actually like the dude from the '90s, John Wesley Shipp. I thought he was pretty cool. But and the newer guy Grant Gustin was pretty good too. But still I feel like they could do better.
I always wanted way back in the day, Ryan Reynolds would have been perfect. Like he shouldn't have been Green Lantern. He would have been the perfect goofy Flash. But other than him, I would have wanted Adam Brody, who was the guy that was he was the curly black-haired Shazam family member when he grew up. He was from the OC and he was in Smallville, but just like a kind of nerdy, funny guy. And there's a lot of options. Even the guy that played Lex Luthor in Smallville, he voiced the Flash in like the Justice League animated series.
Oh, Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good YouTube show right now. He has a lot of funny stuff on there.
Yep.
He can't stand Ryan Reynolds. I can't stand Seth Rogen. He gets on my nerves. Tired of hearing his voice everywhere, popping up in all my Donkey Kong and Ninja Turtle movies and shit. Get the fuck out of here. He gets annoying. Yeah, man. That's I don't know what to say really. It just there's nothing I'm looking forward to as far as like movies go. Like the only movie I'm really looking forward to is the Hellboy movie.
And I mean, for me, it's just Rebel Moon and whatever Nolan ends up making in probably 3 years from now. So
I wish Nolan would make like a vigilante movie with like cars, like a gritty street vigilante movie. Lose all lose the science for a little bit. Just make something like that and film it like the car scenes like in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight with the tumbler. Just do some shit like that. Like some Steve McQueen shit, and then there's, his fight scenes suck, but it got better in Rises. Like the some of the, like there's a fight where at the end where Bale takes out like 7 guys and it's all locked in. And what's his name? I forgot. I keep thinking the kid's name that plays Robin or whatever in Dark Knight, Jim Blake.
Forget
his name. It's three names.
Joseph
Gordon Levitt. That's
Gordon Levitt. Yeah.
He's just standing there and Bale takes them all out, all on screen. And then the fight with Bane was pretty cool. Bane sucked in there. Hardy's a good actor, but he wasn't Bane. But I think if Nolan did something like that, I think that would be pretty dope because
I think Ayer would be a good option too. I mean, the way he intended Suicide Squad to be, the tone of that, like I could see him doing a real dark and gritty, like an original IP, just completely outside of the norm. I think that would be awesome. But I hope that's what we need. We just need a non-traditional superhero or vigilante movie that is not connected to mainstream comics, just something that's completely original that, for all the folks that miss the great DC movies, miss the great Marvel movies, those are the folks that'll be like, oh, something completely different. And I'm intrigued by the fact that I don't know who this character is. Like, kind of like, remember the Priest movie? Like that was awesome.
Dope. Oh yeah.
We need something
urban.
We need something like that.
Yeah. I'm always hunting down some dope ass like original IPs. Like they're not coming around the mountain anymore, man. I'm just like, what the fuck? I loved Priest though, and Legion was good too. That dude was getting down with some dope ass movies, and they're like, you could play Vision, I guess.
Yeah,
like, dude, come on. I mean, he is a dope. Vision is dope though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he is pretty cool. But I was digging like Legion and Priest. Like he was, Carl Urban. I just finished watching The Boys. I gotta admit, I do like that show. Sometimes it's a little. Have you seen The Boys yet?
I haven't. I think where you're heading, like some of it was a bit much.
It's a lot.
And
it's a lot.
Yeah,
but there's some good stuff in there. That Homelander actor is pretty solid. Like by the third season, I was like, this dude's he's doing some horror movie too coming out. But Carl Urban, man, I'm always rooting for that dude. Like, give me a Dread movie, give me a Dread TV show. Fucking.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Give him Batman. I thought he'd be a good Batman too. He isn't all like super pretty boyish. I mean, he is kind of like a leading man, but he's got that harder like edge. Like I thought he would have been a good Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. Should have gotten a sequel. Yeah, no, that should have gotten a trilogy, man. I'm always like kind of against trilogies, but at the end of the day, I kind of would like a trilogy sometimes for things like that more than just a single movie. And now, like as I grow older, 3 is my favorite number. It's just so well balanced. I love 3s. I love stories in 3. I love 3 art structure. I just love seeing 3 of things like when I'm drawing. I don't know if it's the Holy Trinity or what, but now I'm like, all right, give me the 3. I gotta ask, man, you got a special drink you like? You drink beer at all? Are you a drinker or no? On occasion.
Yeah, I am. I'm a vodka drinker, so
okay.
I like shots. I like vodka tonic. Those are my jam. And then recently I've been drinking hard kombucha.
Oh no shit! Yeah, okay.
Which is strong as hell.
It's I haven't tried that, but
I don't know what it is about it. It might be because of the probiotics or how they ferment it, but they have like 12-ounce cans that are like 11 or 12%, and they taste really good.
Damn,
but
that's heavy, dude.
Like I'm not a lightweight, but the first time I had that, I had 1 can.
Yeah,
I was just like,
that's like 3
I felt
beers.
I felt like I had 3 shots.
Yeah, that's 3 shots, kind of. Yeah, it's
like
almost
it was
2 1/3 or 2 3/4, depending.
But
most beers are like 4%, dude.
Yep.
Especially the American beers.
That stuff's good. I mean, I like whiskey too, but historically vodka. So
yeah, vodka. Yeah, and it's usually like coming in from like Scandinavia or Poland. But now it's like I've been seeing more commercials for America. This is American vodka. We're making fucking American vodka now, motherfucker. Like, all right, dude. All right, American vodka. I'll try it, dude. All right. And then like Grey Goose is good, and I forgot, was it Finlandia? That one's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a Beluga or Ruskia Standard or Russian Standard. That's my jam. So
you just drink it straight, or you make martinis, or how do you do that?
It's typically either straight or vodka tonic, sometimes vodka and orange juice. But I've lived overseas and I've had like Russian moonshine, which is
you've been to Russia before?
Yeah, I lived there for a year.
Oh, okay. Damn, I might have to pick your head for some Russian ideas. I got a Russian character I plan on writing in the next 10 years. It's
nice,
a long ways out, but yeah.
I could help with that. But yeah, they have, Russian moonshine is, I'll knock you on your ass, but I had one of the coolest drinks I ever had was Crimean moonshine. And it was vodka made from grapes.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And
usually potato, but yeah, I've heard of grapes too.
And so the aftertaste tasted like Kool-Aid.
Kind of rich.
So
yeah,
you'd get like the burn and the intensity, and they're like ooh, Kool-Aid. And then you have a couple, and you're like, oh, geez.
You picked it up. It works good over there in the cold, and you're up in Michigan too, so it's kind of like it gets that burn, right?
Yep.
It kind of works perfect. That makes sense. Yeah, I get it. And we used to, I could always drink vodka though. I was never like, a lot of people are like, dude, that's lighter fluid, bro. And I was just like, no problem. I can handle the vodka. For some reason, what would get me kind of feeling was gin. I don't know what it is. Gin is kind of, but I can still handle it. Like I can
Yeah,
handle any drink,
same.
but there's
It
just something
tastes
that's just
good
dude, it gets you right there, you know?
in the right like mix. It tastes good, but shots of gin, they
No,
don't settle well.
gin and
It's
juice or
it's
something.
it's strange. Yeah.
Sipping on gin and juice. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. But yeah, again, I'm gonna have to pick your
Oh
brain.
yeah.
You ever seen Scott Adkins? You ever seen Boyka Undisputed too?
No, I haven't. No.
Dude, you got to check that movie out. Scott Adkins, he lost to Ben Affleck, and he's I don't know if you know who Scott Adkins is. He's like
Sounds familiar.
the modern Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's a British
Okay.
guy. He looks like Ben Affleck.
Hmm.
He's in Universal Soldier like 4 and 3, and he does a lot of movies, and he's a badass. Like he's
Nice.
dope, and he makes some IPs. Check him out, dude. He's fucking
Yeah,
dope.
for sure.
And he's in John Wick 4. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see
Okay.
John Wick 4. I love me some John Wick.
Yeah, I need to watch that still.
They put him in a fat suit in there, so he's just
Nice.
he's like Miss Doubtfire and like Big Mama, like Doctor
Oh,
or what is it, clumping it,
Yeah.
and he's kicking fools around and shit, But yeah, he's like I always forget he's my top choice for Batman. He's just
Nice.
But yeah, dude, I have to check out Undisputed though. He's this character called Boyka. He's this like Russian prison fighter, and it's all about prison fights and.
Nice.
I don't know. Hard recommend. You got to check that out. Another movie
Absolutely.
too. I don't know if you've seen. It's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. It's with Vince Vaughn, and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not really a fan of Vince Vaughn too much. I know he could hit the dramatic stuff. I know I've seen him do Psycho and whatnot, but then he became a comedian and did like the Wedding Crashers and all that, old school and whatnot. But that movie's badass, dude. That director is like one of the visionaries right now. Zoller, PK Zoller, I think.
Okay.
He did Bone Tomahawk. That movie's pretty brutal. But in this movie, he does a drug deal with the cartel, and it goes bad. And he ends up shooting like the cartel because he tells them not to do anything. Don't shoot cops or nothing, or there's gonna be trouble. And then the cops, they're like, hey, why did you shoot the cartel? Or he's like, oh, that's just it's not patriotic or whatnot. It goes against my code or whatever. I forgot what he says, but anyway, he goes to prison, and the cartel gets his pregnant wife, and they're like, all right, you're gonna need to do what we want, or we're gonna cut your baby's legs off inside of her womb. So has to go to all these different prisons and fight all these different guys for the cartels, and eventually he gets his, Don Johnson's in there, and he's a warden in one of them, and the fights are dope, dude. Like it's just brutal, and I don't know. That's nice. A good one. But yeah, I thought you might like that one.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
no, it reminds me of my book a bit. There's a lot of some wicked fight scenes. I love that stuff.
I can't wait to check it out. And everybody watching, again, go check out Vigilantes Creed. It's still got a few more weeks. It's about to. Yeah, you're gonna fund pretty soon, and you guys want to get in on the ground floor, pick up some of that skunk art, the Joe Ball art. Corey's killing it on the book. I can't wait to see the mini comics, and yeah, you guys got to come check it out. Where can people find you right now, BA?
They can find me on Twitter if they just search BA Turner. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Just search BA Turner, and you'll find me pretty quickly. So.
Sweet, man. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on. I'd love to have you on again.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, anytime. Do you have plans for making like more comics or more books for Vigilantes Creed?
The plan, what I'd like to do, my next campaign is have a third book, which will be a third novel that'll be an indirect spinoff of book 2 with a character that gets introduced at the end, and then a full comic issue. So I'd like to keep doing both, and I mean long term I'd like to do 8+ comic issues, at least like 30 pages each. So I mean there's just so much, I already have the story done, so it's like there's just so many comics that I could just create out of it. And I'm the type that I get really engulfed in one idea and I want to go all out on it versus jumping genres and doing just trying to pump out books. I want to, focus on a story I'm passionate about and make the most of it. So definitely a long-term project for me. So.
Hell yeah, man. Glad to hear it. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Vigilantes Creed.
Absolutely.
And like I said before, man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have you on again. And yeah, man. Everybody, thanks for watching. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones, know your role. I'll see you guys later.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
guys.